All right, welcome back to Snake Cinema Reviews. I am Prince Elias and I have Jafar with me today. And even though the world is mourning right now due to the loss of our great black superhero Black Panther, Mr. Chadwick Boseman, I decided to continue on my schedule since I have watched a couple of films and get these reviews out the way, so that we can continue on this journey of this thing we call life. Ain't that right, J-Fa? Yes, this weird thing we call life. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a music review this week. I might just recap or review the MTV Awards because it's airing tonight Sunday that I'm recording this. So I might watch that tonight as I get ready for work tomorrow and give you guys what my thoughts or review on their awards show, MTV Music Awards. Because I think we have some performances like Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande, and a bunch of other people. So I'm gonna watch it and I'll let y'all know if it was even worth still airing in this pandemic and COVID, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, today I watched, well not today, a couple of days ago I watched the documentary on HBO Max called Showbiz Kids, and it was written and directed by Bill from Bill and Ted. I forgot his real name. Sorry, sir. I forgot your actual name, but he stars in Bill and Ted. I can't wait to see their new movie. But he wrote and directed this documentary, and he interviewed a bunch of former child stars, people who, you know, they pretty much got famous or with the height of their fame as children, and it talked on a lot of subjects. It talked on their journeys, everybody's individual journeys who was featured on here as when they first started out as acting. It touched on the audition process, competition, the media, and how the media can scrutinize you and break your spirit, especially if you're a child and you star in this movie and then you see a critic review of and they're basically ripping your character to shred or ripping you to shred and saying they want to punch you in the face and stupid shit like that. That part kind of cracked me up a little bit. And of course then they talked about the predatory nature of Hollywood and how so many of these kids became victims in their lives. Victims of a lot of things. Money being stolen by family, mainly parents. You know, pedophilia. You know, a whole bunch of stuff. And just bullying. You know, and a lot of these people were kids when the internet wasn't a thing. They were getting bullied in newspapers and other outlets, and they talked about that and how they had to navigate that. And then they talked about something that I didn't even think about. Was very interesting when you go from being a cute little child star to being an ugly teenager or ugly adult, and nobody want to book you for gigs anymore. It's no longer about your talent or your gifts. It was all about your looks and how talent scouts like overlooked them because they grew up. And it was a very interesting documentary. They interviewed a lot of people. Jaden Pickett Smith, the late great Cameron Boyce from Disney Channel, rest in peace to him. He died way too young. He was only 20 when he passed away. I believe it was last year or a year before last, but they managed to interview him and his family in this documentary, and seeing those clips of him talking, you know, before he passed away, I was like, it was so eerie, like damn. And you know, he talked about how, you know, they kind of train you, especially when you work for a company like Disney. They train you to, like, even while he was being interviewed, he asked the people who were interviewing him for this documentary if he could cuss, because he still was programmed. He even acknowledged that he said, you know, he was still programmed from his Disney days where you had to be squeaky clean and perfect even when you're not even working outside, when you're just being a normal person. He had to be like, can I cuss and stuff like that. And the interviewer was like, yeah, this is gonna be on HBO. He said, okay, good, I can say it. And he said, fuck. And that was hilarious. But it was a very intriguing documentary. I'm not gonna go into much details. It was very intriguing, very insightful. I learned a lot of new things because they even went back when Shirley Temple, you know, was the big craze, you know, with the black and white films. And I learned a lot of stuff that I didn't know. And it makes you caution, you know, a lot of people want their Hollywood dream, but it's always a price to pay to be in Hollywood. It's always a price to pay to act or to direct or to write. Just being in that Hollywood is just, it's a monster. It's a beast in itself. And yes, there are some rewards like fame and fortune, but it's some curses in there too. And I like hearing from the actual people who were, who at least, even those who have gone and no longer with us, but you know, a lot of these people are still here with us and they're adults now. And you know, Hollywood used them as kids and then spit them out into the real world, and they had to navigate how to live their life. And now they're directing and writing and doing other things. Some are still currently acting, like Rachel Evan Wood. She was also in there. I love, she dropped some gems in this documentary. She dropped some fucking gems. Almost every quote that I love from this documentary was from her. And she's still currently working, even as an adult. But you know, they show you all the sides, the good, the bad, and ugly. They talked about it. Jada Pinkett Smith, she was a child star. She's been acting and being famous since she was a kid. And she even talked about her journey as well as navigating as a parent of child stars, because her kids, Willow and Jaden, they're famous musicians and they've acted in other things and they've done a lot of other things in life. And so, you know, it came full circle for her story and her journey as she talked about being a showbiz kid and then raising showbiz kids and how you have to protect them and from the lessons that you had to learn growing up. And so it's a really dope documentary. It's not too sensationalized, like too dramatic, but they kept it real with the topics. They didn't sugarcoat shit. They let you know like Hollywood can be dangerous mentally, physically, emotionally, everything, especially when you're a child. Your parents could use you for your fame and fortune, for your money, and by the time you turn 18, the millions and billions of dollars you made on these hit movies like E.T. and stuff like that, and hit TV shows like Different Strokes and stuff, you turn 18 and that money's nowhere to be found because your parents fucked up your money and fucked up your budget and stuff like that. So or they just kept, you know, feeding their greed. And so it was very insightful documentary, very well written, well directed. They did a great job. I love the people that they chose to speak about and interview. And if you got HBO Max or you just got HBO channel, check it out, look it up. Showbiz Kids, very good, very insightful. I'm loving these documentaries, especially on HBO. And they in Netflix, like they killing it with the docs when it comes to like the real life, real world content. The reality content that's not reality shows, Netflix and HBO is really killing it. I'm loving it. And you should check it out. I give it a 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, 8.5 out of 10 score. Definitely check it out if you have HBO or HBO Max streaming service. It's very good, very well written. It's written and directed by a child star. So they kept it real on that shit. And rest in peace to Cameron Boyce, who was in the documentary but passed away again, or like I said earlier, at the age of 20. He had a seizure in his sleep. He was a legend, a living legend in the making. You know, he was famous and working on Disney, but he did stuff outside of Disney. I believe he was like in an Adam Sandler movie. He was in a bunch of stuff, TV shows and stuff like that, and movies. So rest in peace to him. Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman, who passed away this weekend. It's been a heavy time, heavy year, but I really am enjoying the content that's been coming out this year. Even though the real world or real life sucks balls and it's trash, the content that's been coming out as far as TV shows and movies and docs, films, have not been trash. It's been an excellent time. I think I pretty much love everything that I've reviewed this year. Last year was iffy. There was some stuff that I didn't even bother reviewing because it was trash, but a lot of content that's been coming out this year, movie, music, TV wise, has been excellent, and this is one of them. So go check it out. Showbiz Kids, HBO Max. That is it for this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe. I am Prince Elias. This is Jafar, and we are Snake Cinema Reviews, and we will catch y'all in the next video, probably reviewing the MTV Music Awards on Friday. So be on the lookout for that video, and we will check y'all in the next vlog.